55% say they would accept a new job offer even if it required them to be in the office full time. Okay. What do you guys think about that? 55% of the respondents said they'll take a new job offer even though it required them to be in the office full time. So no more remote work. What do you guys think about that? To me, that's slightly alarming, right? Wouldn't you guys be slightly alarmed by that? Especially if you're looking for remote work, or if you are a remote worker? I know that I get a lot of questions from the chat about specifically about remote work, right? They don't just want to be a data scientist, they want to be a remote data scientist. So this to me is very catches my eye. Right? I mean, it's kind of maybe it signals maybe a start to start looking for full-time on-premise roles. Right? I mean, 55% is a huge number, yeah? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. While you guys think about that, I'm going to read Joseph's comment. I think what I have found hard is that REUs are tied to the market. If the company is a startup, the shares can be volatile. Yeah, that's true, Joseph. And hey, you're lucky if you even have a market for them, right? Some startups, you know, it's basically just like privately traded, right? I mean, unless a VC comes along and offers a liquidation period, there's really nothing, you know, they're worth nothing, right? They're just a piece of paper. So even in the situation that you're describing, Joseph, yes, you're right, it's volatile, but at least you have a market for them, right? And, you know, it's not so volatile if they cost you nothing to obtain, right? So you can kind of feel okay about selling them no matter the price. But in some cases, that option just doesn't exist, right? It's just a promised form of equity that you really can't sell, right? It's not liquid. All right, Rohan says, maybe after continuous remote work for past few years, they are looking for on-premise interaction. Yeah, Rohan, yeah. Yeah, you know what? And Rohan, I'm thinking about it in the same way, where this is your competition, right? If you think of yourself as being in competition with the other candidates, then you are a step behind. If you are saying, well, no, I really, you know, if you go into the interview and you say, well, no, I really want remote work. Well, look, half the other candidates are going to be saying, no, I'm okay coming on site. So you're right, Rohan. It could be both that the employer is demanding it, but it could also be that the people themselves kind of want that interaction, right? So that kind of puts you doubly behind if you're the person looking for remote work, because the employer wants it, the candidates want it, and now you're kind of like on the outside, right, with asking for remote work, right? So yeah, Rohan, I think you're right. It's part of the premise interaction being driven by the candidates, not just the companies, not just the employers. Patrick says, it's alarming because I'm seeking remote work, but as a job seeker in a somewhat starved job market, it makes sense that people really want jobs over the work freedom. Yeah, you're right about that, Patrick. There is an increasingly negative outlook on jobs, right? So people might be saying, hey, look, I'll take anything, you know, tell me where to go and I'll go to an office if you really need me to. So yeah, I mean, people would choose that over being unemployed, right? So yeah, you're right, Patrick. I agree with you that the job seekers are also driving it, right? So, and Patrick, coming back to your earlier point, this would be a good number to watch for future trends, right? I'm going to go ahead and, you know, lay a hypothesis out there that this number would increase in next year's report, right? 55% is probably as low as that number is going to go. I could see this jumping up, right? I wouldn't see this number dropping anytime soon, right? It's only going to go up. So, you know, just tying that back to your earlier point about the trend and other reports, what about future trends, right? We can make a forecast.